Hello my dear friends, I am Prashant Mauni. I hope you all are doing good. This is StudyIQ and I warmly welcome all of you today. Dear friends, today is Sunday, last day of 2017. It is the time to say goodbye to 2017 forever. And let's start our day with a positive quote. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. Dear friends, that's how we get our life. Life is given to us by nature or by God or by Allah or Ishwar. They give us life in small moments, right? We get life in small installments. And if we want to ensure that we live a very good life, then the best thing that we can do is the moment that we have at present, we have to make the best out of it. This is the only possible way. If you have any other way, then please let me know. I'm very curious to know about it. With this, dear friends, year-end sale is also going to end today. Up to 40% discount is available on our pen drive and tablet courses, and I would reckon that if you haven't got our pen drive and tablet courses yet, then don't waste any time further. Get it as soon as possible. The first item that we have today is pertaining to Palestine. Now we know that it was in news yesterday as well, and before moving ahead, before discussing this news item, I would like to remind all of you that today is Sunday and you don't get editorials or articles in Sunday's newspapers. So today the things that we are going to discuss, of course we are going to analyze all the items that we have, but they are going to be news items only. In the end portion or the last bit of this discussion or this lecture is going to be of science and technology, so we will discuss some science and technology or new things that are registered in terms of science and technology news. With this difference, the first item is pertaining to India and Palestine, and here the thing is that the person that you can see on your screen, right, he is an ambassador of Palestine to Pakistan, and basically he attended a meeting that was conducted by this LET chief Hafiz Saeed, who is a terrorist mastermind of 2611, and he took part in it. And of course India is never going to be happy, or India will never appreciate any sort of this sort of maneuvers being conducted by these diplomats, right? So India protested against this move of Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan, and now in today's newspaper, it is reported that Palestine has in fact recalled him. Basically, he has been asked to come back to country, to come back to Palestine, and Palestine has also expressed pain. They have said that it is an unintended mistake, but of course it is not justified. It has reiterated that Palestine stands with India when it comes to terrorism. It is a real partner of India in the war against terrorism, and this sort of things, right, this sort of meetings that have been conducted in Pakistan, it is a matter of shame as well. And it also indicates that terrorists and people who are associated with this sort of nefarious groups, right, they are allowed in Pakistan to freely organize meetings and things like that. And we also know that Hafiz Saeed is been proscribed as a terrorist by the United Nations as well. And the sad thing is that they still, right, they are brainwashing people, and anti-India slogans on Kashmir were raised during this this meeting or rally, you can say. And they were talking about this LET group, right? They were talking about this solidarity with Jerusalem status and things like that. Anyways, the matter of worry is that, or the thing that we should take into consideration is that United Nations General Assembly, there was a resolution, and in this resolution, India had in fact voted against USA and Israel. We know that India is having a very good relationship with USA as well as Israel, and we have very good relationship with Palestine as well, and you can understand it better with the help of this triangle. You have USA here, you have Israel here, and Palestine here, and you can see that India is having good relationship with all these three countries. India has always supported the stand, or India's stand, or India's viewpoint when it comes to Jerusalem or when it comes to Israel and Palestine is pertaining to this, or is basically India believes in or supports this two-state solution. That means both these countries can coexist as neighbors with each other peacefully for the betterment, for the development of the people living under these countries. And here you can see this is Israel and Palestine, right? This portion here, the one in color, is Palestine, and you have two parts of Palestine. This portion is called West Bank and this one is called Gaza Strip, and the grayish portion here is Israel, right? And Jerusalem is somewhere over here. And we know that we have discussed about this thing in detail during our conversation when we were analyzing or decoding the editorials and articles that were published on this particular topic, and we have gone through many of them. So I'm sure that you know the history of Jerusalem and history of Palestine and Israel. With this, dear friends, one more important thing that is associated with Pakistan, and Pakistan has expressed, or you can say Pakistan is not a bit happy about India's rejection of 192 visa application pertaining to the visit or the people from Pakistan. This 192 people, they were supposed to be here, or they applied to visit Hazrat Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia's Urs, or birth anniversary. And Hazrat Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia, very famous Sufi shrine in our country. It's in Delhi. I'm sure you might have seen this. Many of you might have visited this place, and it is a symbol of unity and peace between Hindus and Muslims. Not only Hindus and Muslims, but it also is a sort of you can say a lighthouse for when it comes to brotherhood, when it comes to peace, when it comes to love and harmony between different communities that are living in our country. Now, Pakistan is not happy about this stand taken by India, of course, but the thing is the way they have treated mother and Mrs. of Kulbhushan Jadhav. They should have thought about this thing as well, isn't it? One thing that I would like to add here, and a couple of days ago we have talked about this thing as well, that when it comes to relationship between two countries, right, people to people contact is one of the most important thing. If the people of one country, or say for example people of India and USA, if they are having good relationship with each other, then you can take this relationship, then you can have all this bilateral trade, ties and other things. And one very interesting example that I would like to add here is the relationship between India and USA, particularly in the time of nuclear deal that took place between India and USA. Now we know that NRIs, right, people of Indian origin, they live in USA, and the good thing is that even though when you compare them in terms of quantity, right, in numbers we are, or this NRI Indian origin people are not high in quantity, but when it comes to their contribution to the society of USA in terms of economy and in terms of education and things like that, then they are one of the biggest contributor, and this makes them very influential in USA. And when USA was skeptical or was not happy to go ahead with a deal or a nuclear deal with India at that point of time, it was NRIs. It was this people of Indian origin who in fact lobbied for India, and out of many factors that played, it is believed that this stand taken by the people of Indian origin people, right, in USA played a very important role. So this indicates how people to people contact can work. There are many other countries as well, like when we talk about India and Nepal, at that point of time we talk about roti and beti ka relation. That means sharing food as well as having matrimonial relationship with each other. When we talk about ASEAN country, then we know that Buddhism takes or plays a very important role. In terms of Pakistan, we know that India and Pakistan used to be one country at one point of time, and we have many different religious shrines on both sides of the border. And many people, right, from different communities, they do visit. People go back and forth throughout the year. They visit different places, and this helps in building good people to people contact. Now one thing is there, we have to understand this thing, that when it comes to politics, when it comes to political relationship between these two countries, then things are not that right. But when it comes to people contact, I know that it would be a bit difficult for many of you to understand this thing. But trust me, when it comes to people contact, then there are many people in our country whose relatives are living in Pakistan. There are many people in Pakistan whose relatives are living here in India. And it's not only about Muslims, it is about Christians, it is about Hindus, it is about Parsis as well, it is about Sikhs as well, right? And so this is the thing. And nowadays it is also seen that this people-to-people contact between both these countries is getting deteriorated, and this is a matter for worry for both the countries, because we never know, after 10 years or maybe after 25 years, say for example, these two countries could be can turn out or they may have the best possible relationship with each other, right? And if the connection that many people have with each other, if this connection is lost, then it would be very difficult. We would have all these different relations, but if we lose this people-to-people contact, then we are never going to, you can say, that emotional touch that is one of the most core thing for any relationship will be gone, and then it would be very difficult. Anyways, with this, dear friends, this one is about Mumbai's fire. We have talked about this thing in detail. I have particularly added this thing for Hindi students because as you know, on Sunday I do deliver the Hindu in Hindi as well. So we have talked about this thing, so I'm not going into details of this thing. One thing that I would like to remind you, that the government should identify, of course, all those people, all the owners and managers will be booked for sure. But what about those officials, right, who were supposed to ensure that they have all these safety measures and things like that? So all those officers should be booked as well. This is about air pollution. We know that it is costing us very badly. It is hitting us very badly. We are losing more and more people every year, particularly elder ones and our future generation, that is our youngsters, right? They are being affected. It is also said that that kids in Delhi are going to have the color of their lung is going to be a bit dark or black in color or grayish in color. But if you compare the lung of a kid living in Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh, then he or she is going to have a pink sort of, a proper, that's how lungs should be, right? They have proper lungs. So this indicates that air pollution is it is one of the biggest, of course we know, biggest threat. It impacts the quality of life. And one more thing that I would like to add here and remind you, that it is not about Delhi only, it is about whole Indo-Gangetic Plains. It is a matter of worry that the southern states, right, of our country, say for example Tamil Nadu, then we know that many like Chennai and other big cities of Tamil Nadu, they are on coastal areas. So naturally on coastal areas you have air breeze and sea breeze, land breeze, not air breeze, land breeze and sea breeze taking place, basically wind coming from the seaside towards land, and then the land winds are going towards the sea. So this thing keeps on going every day. It's a cycle that keeps on happening because of temperature variation. And because of this thing, you don't find these cities that much polluted. But nowadays, we are also saying that these cities are also not, you can say, they are also vulnerable to air pollution, matter of concern. Now, a very important bill is been placed in Lok Sabha. It is National Medical Commission Bill 2017. And if I give you the gist of this bill, then basically what this bill is trying to do is that it is trying to bridge, right? It is trying to connect this Indian systems of medicine, Ayurveda, homeopathy with allopathy. Allopathy basically means, I'm sure you know that it is the modern way, or the scientific, not scientific, other things are scientific as well, but the modern medicine that we know, right? So it is trying to connect or create a bridge so that they can work with each other. And the best things, many a times you have to mix and match things, and if these things are working, then there is no harm in it as well. Now of course whenever we do something new, then there is going to be some sort of resistance, and this resistance is good as well. Many times it prevents us from doing something or conducting a big mistake. But here we are talking about science. We don't know, we haven't done this thing before at this level. In small pockets this sort of experiments are being conducted, but when you are being backed by a law, proper law, then this helps a lot. So let's see what is going to be the result of this, you can say, a marriage between traditional and Ayurveda and allopathy, homeopathy, allopathy, and different modes when they come together as a family, and when there is a bridge, when everything can be shared. And if we can find out a new method, then there is no harm in it. With this, dear friends, there is also going to be a committee, and this committee is going to be government nominated person is going to be a chairperson or chairman or chairwoman of you can say this government nominated committee or commission, and the cabinet secretary, he is going to select people, right? Board members will be selected by cabinet secretaries. So this 25-member commission will replace MCI, that is Medical Council of India, and let's see the outcome of this project. With this, dear friends, Waterways, we have talked about Waterways quite a lot of time, and here Nitin Gadkari, we also know him as Bridge Gadkari, because he is a very enthusiastic minister when it comes to transportation, when it comes to infrastructure, and under his leadership this ministry is performing at its best. Now on Sunday, Mr. Gadkari announced 1,250 crore for overall development of inland water transport of Assam. Ro-Ro ferry services are going to start in near future in Assam, but for that the government of Assam has to provide a detailed project report, and the minister has also said, union minister has said, that if you have to, then deploy or take help from foreign consultant, but sort this thing out as soon as possible. These are 6 major national waterways, and here you can see this portion here is of Assam, Brahmaputra one, that will connect Assam, West Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. Now, one of the basic thing regarding waterways that I would like to tell you, and this is very important, and that is that it is the cheapest, right? Waterway is the cheapest mode of transportation when you compare it with airways, when you compare it with roadways, when you compare it with railways. And one of the reason why it is cheapest is because you require less amount of energy compared to all the other source of or different modes of transportation, right? Less energy is required, so naturally cost is going to be down. At the same time, the pollution or the carbon footprint is also down when it comes to this waterways. So this is going to be the future. One more thing, in terms of northeast, you know that this portion is covered with different hills, right? It is a hilly portion, so naturally creating roads and railways is going to be challenging, costly, time consuming, but you have many rivers here, particularly Brahmaputra and other rivers, right? Tributaries and distributaries of Brahmaputra, so you can use those waterways. It is going to be cheap. You don't have to construct any sort of roads, or you don't have to lay down railway lines, which costs a lot, right? So all you have to do is use ready-made water. All you have to do is create a good facility for ports. So Ro-Ro ferry service and other things are going to boost the economy of Northeast. It will help with our Act East policy as well. We know that under this Act East policy, we are trying to connect our Northeast with ASEAN countries. So it is going to be a win-win situation for northeastern part of our country. With this, dear friends, very important definition, or you can say differentiation, you can say what makes religion different from culture is been said by, it's not a direct thing, but indirectly Venkaiah Naidu ji has explained this thing, and very important for your general studies paper number 4 for all those students who are preparing for civil services. It will help all students, right, all across the board. If you have to face, or if you have to write essays, then very important distinction and between this two, religion and culture. And one more thing that I would like to add here, that you find many times they ask you question in your interview as well, so pay attention to this one. Religion is a way of worship, but when it comes to culture, it is a way of living. The culture that we have, Indian culture, is totally different from religion, because religion, you could you could be worshipping in a church or in a mosque or in a synagogue or temple, right? It could be very personal, right? It is in fact very personal thing. But when we talk about culture, culture is something that belongs to everyone, right? And I would like to again give you example of Sufism here, right? Sufism is not belonging to any one particular community. It is part of a cultural way of life, right? In terms of Sufism, when I say Sufism, I'm not talking about shrines. I'm talking about the feeling or the thing that you learn, or that has in fact provided a sort of different flavor to the cultural life of our country. So this is something that belongs to everyone. In the same way, diversity, unity, these are the things, right, that are part of Indian culture, and it does not belong to any one particular community. It belongs to every one of us, and at the end of the day, we would be speaking different language, we would be speaking or consuming different food, we would be wearing different types of clothes and speaking different mother tongues, but at the end of the day, we all are Indians. Very important, I think, statement coming out from our Vice President. With this, he has also said that in next 10 to 15 years, we are going to be top global economy, but we also are going through many challenges, and one of the biggest challenge that we have is poverty. Now, why I am saying that poverty is the biggest challenge? Because poverty with it brings many other evils as well, right? Hunger, malnutrition, then you can say other sorts of crimes, right? Lack of opportunity and many other things. With this, dear friends, very important news in today's science portion or science page of the Hindu, and it is about endemic ants. Two new species of ants have been found from Andaman Island, Havelock Island to be precise, and they are endemic. That means you find them only here in Havelock Island or Andaman, and they are known as Tetramorium krishnani and Tetramonium Jharva. Jharva is a community, indigenous people living on the island, and it is believed that they are living here for more than thousands of years. Anyways, this is for the first time that India has used this X-ray micro-CT technology to build 3D models to study this anatomical structure or feature of this. And keep this thing in mind, very important, this Tetramonium ants. And with this one, it is about Wi-Fi, not about Wi-Fi, but more about Li-Fi. Li-Fi is light fidelity technology, and it is, you can say, a more improved version of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a bit limited when it comes to range, but this range of Li-Fi can be very wide, and this is how it works. Rather than me giving you detail regarding this thing, it would be a bit better if you just go through them. But very quickly, right, if in terms of gist, you can transfer data using LED lamps. So basically this range here of this lamp, say for example, if it is plugged with your server, then you can transmit Wi-Fi, or you can say internet, in the range where this light is. So if you place your PC or any sort of tablet or smartphone or things, then you can get Wi-Fi internet connection using this Li-Fi technology. Now the thing is that scientists are saying that, or you can say researchers are a bit worried about this you can say Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi has, you can say, while it uses this microwaves, right, technology, this can be it can lead to a sort of less secure structure. But with this one, this Li-Fi, you can add, there was basically a research was done on this thing, and there were scientists were working on this reflection, right? Reflection of the light coming, you know that how light hits a wall and then it is being reflected as well. So in this term, the detectors, they have found that the detectors can receive both direct as well as reflected signals. And based on this thing, more research will be done, of course, but they have said that this is going to add more security when it comes to this Li-Fi. With this, dear friends, Tasman Sea is in news. It is about a double whirlpool that can be possible in a sea, but more important is Tasman Sea. Tasman is here, right? This is Tasmania, and it is part of Australia. So The water that you find between New Zealand and Australia is Tasman Sea's water. So keep this thing in mind. With this, dear friends, a new telescope will be launched during mid-20s by NASA. The name of this telescope is Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope, WFIRST. And this is going to provide us a bit more better picture in terms of the pictures that we are getting it today. Of course, when we launch something new, then it is going to be top of the range, or the latest one that or it is going to be the latest one, isn't it? So more better pictures, more better opportunity for astronomers to explore our space. With this, hackers have said that the pins, hackers can guess your pins or your passwords with the help of this gyroscope and proximity sensors. They are not that secure, and this is very important, this news item. If this is something that is possible, if hackers can hack our phones using gyroscope and proximity, then it is going to be a big threat, because nowadays, in today's era, data is the new gold, right? It is gold, in fact, because if you have data, then you can know. Many times hackers, they use it for extortion, and when private companies, when they have data of different people, then based on that thing they can design their products and services, and it gives a sort of advantage. If you know what your client is looking for, then it is better to fulfill that demand. So in this way, they can make more money out of it and things like that. With this, dear friends, these are your answers. Nana Sahib is the right answer. None of this. And Zambezi, and 1/10 of the membership of the house. With this, dear friends, I end this lecture, 2017's The Hindu Analysis English last lecture, but 2018. Tomorrow is going to be our first lecture. I am so excited about it. And with this, dear friends, I would like to wish all of you a very, very, very happy new year. Enjoy, right? I'm sure many of you would be enjoying tonight. So go ahead, right? Go for it. Make the most out of the last day of 2017. With this also, I would like to remind that today is the last date for up to 40% discount available on our pen drive and tablet courses. So if you haven't got it yet, get it as soon as possible, because from tomorrow the prices may shoot up. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are many more videos available, and one interesting video is available on this Airtel's, right? Airtel's misuse of data. With this, dear friends, may God, may Allah, may Ishwar give you or bestow or bless you with curiosity, because I believe personally that once you are being blessed with curiosity, then rest of the things can be achieved by yourself. You don't need anyone else to help you with this thing. When I say anyone else, I mean to say you will have enough positive energy, you will have enough energy that will keep you motivated. And this is my wish and pray for all of you for 2018. Thank you so much for listening me. Enjoy your day. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye for now, and Jai Hind.